Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Mark, and today we're going to be making a homemade chili. Ironically, there's no chili flavor in it. It's all from scratch. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab a pound of ground beef, fry that up. You're going to need a half a cup of sauteed onions, garlic, and peppers. You're going to need a can of chili beans, a can of diced tomatoes with seasonings in it, a can of chili ready tomatoes, beef bouillon, brown sugar, I'm looking for the other recipe right here. We go. Onion soup mix, one package, a little bit of cayenne pepper, and a little bit of chili powder. Now the brown sugar is going to be dependent on how spicy it gets. Because if it's too spicy, you can add the brown sugar in, and that'll sweeten the taste a little bit. So when I make my chili, I like to make it a little sweet and spicy. So right now we're just frying up the hamburger. Now what I like to do is I like to grind up my hamburger so it's really fine for the chili. So I use one of these. It just mashes it up so it's a little bit smaller pieces. So over the winter, later part of fall, I was busy putting in a new faucet for the sink because mine died. I was busy turning my home into a smart home with Amazon. So everything is run by her. The lights, the TV, my security camera, everything is literally running by her. I don't have to worry about shutting anything off anymore. I just turned 52, so I tend to forget a lot of what I'm supposed to be doing unless I write it down. So now I have her to actually do all that for me. So this looks like it's just about done. So what we're going to do is we're going to drain all the grease on this. You can leave the grease in or you could drain it. It's really up to you. So I didn't drain all of the grease. I did leave some in there. Now we're going to add the sauteed onions, garlic, and peppers in here. Now, if you remember from my previous shows, I always make a lot of this and I freeze it. So that's what you just saw, was me trying to scoop it out of the frozen container. We're going to add the chili beans. Now you could essentially make this without the chili beans. You could just do it with, just do chili without beans. With the seasonings that I'm going to put in here, you won't need the chili beans to give it that flavor. I just like the beans, and they're really good for you. So if anybody isn't too keen on them, just keep in mind that they are good for you. Now we're going to add the powdered mixers. So that is the onion soup mix. And that's a beef flavored, by the way. Now, this is about 2 tablespoons of beef bouillon. You're going to add 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Because it's really potent stuff, do not add more than that. 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. What you want to do is mix this whole thing up first to see just how spicy it is, because if it's too hot for you, that's where the brown sugar comes into play. Now the brown sugar is optional. You don't have to use the brown sugar. I personally like the brown sugar just because it gives it a really sweet flavor. So we're just going to get this all set up in here. We're going to mix it up, and then we're going to taste it to see what it tastes like. It tastes like it needs a little more chili powder. Of course, I always do this. I add the chili powder, and then it's too hot, and then I have to add the brown sugar to it. Now this is a very stocky chili. You're going to get a flavor and it's just going to be multitude of flavor. I mean, this is what it looks like, and that's just 1 scoop. So you're always going to have something in there. It's not like the regular chili that you buy in the supermarkets. This is actually just full of flavor and full of just a variety of foods in there. Let's taste this. It's got a little bit of kick to it, but I want just a little bit more. Only because I want that sweet and spicy flavor, and I can't add the brown sugar to it if it's just a regular flavor. So I add the more of the chili powder to it to give it the flavor, so it does have a kick to it. Now the other options that you could do with this is you could throw, and I believe I have it in here, you could throw mild Taco Bell sauce. That's a little kick to it. Pour some of that. You can pour some Tabasco sauce in there. They would give it the kick. But that's if you want really fire hot chili. I'm not a big fan of the burn your throat chili, so I never use those. I use those for other items. Now the chili is just giving me the flavor that I was looking for. So now we're going to add a little bit of brown sugar. And again, the sweetness is up to your discretion. Anywhere from a quarter cup to a half a cup. I wouldn't go any more than that because it'll just make it really too sweet. Now these are quick, easy meals if you get out of work and you're running late and you're trying to figure out what to make for dinner. Chicken corn chowder, the one that I make, literally takes about 15 minutes. This right here it's going to take about 15 minutes as well, maybe 20, 25 minutes. So they're really good if you're trying to rush and get out the door because you have plans later on that evening, or you're just running late from getting home. These would be the perfect quick meals for you. So now that we have that all in there, I can already smell the flavor to it. Now another option is chili con carne, which also adds corn to it. So you could actually add a little bit of corn to your meal. If you ask any of my friends, they'll tell you that I love corn. I literally live on corn. But I didn't add any to this. That gave me the sweet and spicy taste I was just looking for. It's got a little bit of a bite to it. And we're going to add a little more chili powder. And again, your seasonings, they're all to your discretion. If you don't want it too hot or if you don't want it too sweet, you adjust the seasonings. I can put an estimated on there on what I use, but generally it's really up to you. So when I put the recipe up on my pages, I usually just put a generic chili powder, 2 teaspoons, cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon, brown sugar, 1/4 to a half a cup. It's really up to you on what you throw in there. This is all done. This has not taken that long. To be truthfully honest with you, it's been about 25 minutes because the video is only 14 minutes long. And the only time I paused was to actually take let the hamburger saute. So that was a quick and easy meal. I find these to be really good if you have starving kids at home and both parents work. It just makes it a little bit easier for everybody all the way around. where they don't have to go ahead and figure out what they're going to have for dinner. It's already there. Let's see here. So the chili is all done. And it's a nice, thick, robust flavor with lots of mix in there. Again, like I said, if you want to add a little color, you could add corn to it. If you're going to add corn, I would add Mexican corn. It would give it that little bit of zest that you're looking for. Because Mexican corn has green and red chili peppers in it, or green and red peppers in it. So that would be exactly what you were looking for to add essence to this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to see how many people this serves. So this is what it looks like. There was actually enough to make 5 plus this little bowl. This is what I'm going to snack on today. What's good about this chili is, let me get away from that light right there. Is if Dad likes it spicy and the kids don't, or Mom doesn't, what you can do is you can make your spicy, and then pour a bowl for Dad, and then after Dad gets his, take the rest of it, add a little bit of brown sugar. That'll give it that sweetness to it, so it's not as spicy. So it really works out for everybody. It's going to give everybody the flavor that they're looking for. Once again, this was homemade chili, and this was on Cooking with Mark. This is season 3. Once again, my website is no longer active. I only have my YouTube, my Facebook, and my Twitter account. So anything that you're looking for would be found on those 3. And as always, thank you for watching Cooking with Mark, and have a great afternoon. Bye.